Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from the monthly Rahdo Roundup, and if you'd like to see the rest of the roundup, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner of the screen, or if you'd like to know more about the game, you can follow the link down in the show notes. And with that out of the way, let's talk about Darwinning. Now, this is a very interesting game. It bills itself as a trick-taking evolution simulation. Pre man. Yeah, I don't think man actually appears as a playable character in here. Everybody picks a particular prehistoric creature, bugs or lizards or birds or dinosaurs or, there's several different ones. They all have different strengths and weaknesses, and it's a survival of the fittest battle where I am trying to make sure my particular species comes out at the top of the food chain. Although I don't have to get at the top of the food chain to win, but if I'm not at the top of the food chain, the other animals will try to eat me. Unless, of course, I evolve defensive mechanisms like shells or camouflage, but then they might develop tools or what have you. And so there's a lot of games out there. Think dominant species, where you have a species, you're trying to evolve it and grow over the course of the game to respond to the changing environment that you're in as the world changes around you, and also to what your opponents are doing. This game drives that with trick-taking. But here's the thing, I don't think it's a trick-taking game. I think it's more of a poker game. Imagine a trick-taking game where instead of every turn you play one card, and then people have to follow suit and beat the card, and then whoever has the high card wins the trick and all that. Here, you're playing poker hands. You've got a big old hand of very non-standard cards. Each one of these cards represents a particular, 4 different ways, potentially, that you could evolve your species, increase your population, increase the places that your species could thrive, give you new abilities, stuff like that. And you can combine these cards to make poker hands. Flushes and straights, pairs, 3 of a kind, all that kind of stuff. And when it's your turn to play, you don't have to play just one card. You can play, I think, up to 4 cards, if I recall correctly, to make different poker hands. And you're not just trying to play the high card, you're trying to play the best poker hand, because at the end of the round, after everybody's played into the trick, whoever had the best poker hand gets to take one of the cards that they used and use it to evolve their species. That's sharp, and that is fun, and it works really well. So I like this game a lot, in fact, but it has some problems. The biggest one is it tries to go all icons, and it didn't come with player aids, and so players are constantly, can you hand me the rules? I have no idea what these 3 powers are. I have no idea what this is, and that's a real shame. They would have really been better off putting text on the cards to explain how everything works. I know that limits their international appeal, but if not that, the game needed to come with player aids. I have rarely played a game that needed player aids more than Darwinning. And so that really kind of slows the game down. I should look. I wonder if but still, they should have been in the box. I don't know if they're available now, but they are desperately needed. So that was a really big problem. A smaller problem, actually it wasn't a problem for me, but it might be for some folks, is, like I said, you're trying to make the best poker hand, but the odd thing is, it changes the rules or the hierarchy for poker hands. I don't remember exactly how, but like flushes are now not as good as 3 of a kinds and stuff like that. Now, it makes sense based on the cards you have. There's a different number of suits, different number of cards you can play. But that's gonna, for diehard poker fans, that's gonna be a kind of a weird learning experience. And it's interesting, they have a player aid for that to remind you, hey, here's our poker scheme, but they don't have one for all the powers. Not having those powers is a real problem. And there are some other weird little rules that are very, very difficult to get your hand on. So the game is kind of fiddly with all the stuff you got to keep track of. But and that's kind of why it ranks lower, because the game itself is really good. The interplay between players, you think you're gonna eat me? I'm protected. I'm gonna turn the tables and eat you. I can actually eat up on the food chain because I'm super brilliant. And suddenly you fear me now. Or I'm just gonna stay small and inconsequential because we're breeding like crazy. We're gonna win this game just based on because you can't eat all of us. Lots of cool, fun stuff. The evolution game here is brilliant. And the trick-taking / poker stuff works really well, but there are just hurdles you have to get through. So this is a game that if you're willing to put in the time, you will definitely find a wonderful kind of a diamond in the rough. But like I said, it is rough around the edges, which is why it comes in at number 23, Darwinning. And thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, believe me. But with that out of the way, if you'd like to see some more, over on the left, you can find a playlist of a whole bunch more Rahdo Rapid reviews. Up in the top right, there's the latest thing that's been added to the channel. And in the bottom right, you've got something YouTube recommends. Okay, folks, thanks for watching.